What advice do you give for just the scene of so many people doing online dating and the fatigue and the anxiety and the frustration that comes with just feeling like there's a lot of cycling through and flaking out and being ghosted as you are out in the world dating? And let's say you've taken your advice, which I think is so important for everyone to hear, that online dating is not your only option. And I think people have really relied on that and pulled away from communities and putting themselves out there and joining different churches and trying new things and joining the running club and just being more open in day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And I think it takes even more post-pandemic to start doing that for yourself. But what are some of the other pieces of advice? Because it is very hard. That's what I hear from everybody that is dating. It's very hard. It's very frustrating that the app scene sucks. It's just another social media app at this point. And you just feel like a commodity and it's a numbers game.
Which is why you have to obsess over the way you use your energy, both on and off those vehicles. Because those vehicles, they're dopamine machines. And me and my wife were talking about this literally this morning. She was talking to me. She was like, I just realized I've got back into a little dopamine cycle with Instagram where I'm like, there's a friend I haven't texted back. And I'm telling myself I haven't got time to text this friend back, which is real connection. And then I go straight to Instagram. And I relate to that too. This is the same way that people use dating apps. So we have to manage our own way that we use those things. People are not wrong. Dating culture today for so many people sucks. And it is hard to find love. I'm not one of those people that talks about how easy it is. It's hard. It's the one area where we feel like we're out of control. Because if you want to lose weight or get in better shape, you can eat better and you can train every day and your body shape will change. You want to make more sales, you can pick up the phone. You want to save more money, you can deposit in the bank account every day. The money will accumulate. But you could go on a date every day of the week for the next year and still not find the love of your life. That is infuriating. It is not, if it were a board game, it wouldn't be Monopoly with its steady accumulation of houses and hotels. It would be Chutes and Ladders, where you feel like you make all this progress climbing up the ladder. And finally, I'm on date 5 with someone. It feels like it's going somewhere. And then they ghost me. And I just go all the way back down. But even worse, it feels like, because now I've got less time and I'm heartbroken and I feel bad about myself and I'm questioning my worth and I'm questioning the people that I'm dating and and how great they are. One of my favorite quotes is a Mitch Albom quote where he says, if you don't like the culture, you have to be brave enough to create your own. And that is so relevant in dating and in finding love, because so many of us are going into our love lives as culture adopters, not leaders. One of the best things about starting a business, this, is that you get to decide what you get to look at all the other businesses that do things like you, and you get to decide the kind of business you want to create. You get to decide the kind of culture you want to have with your team. And because of that, you get to put your thumbprint on it. And the strength of your leadership, then it has this infectious impact on everyone else. It's not just that you hire people who are like you. You hire people and you give them a heavy dose of that culture and the way we do things here. And some people go, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for. And they rise to that culture, and other people fall off because they can't. That can happen in love too.
How? Because here's the thing, literally, I really want to hear the how, because I have so many extraordinary people in my life who are single, who are frustrated by the toxic dating scene that is very much driven by apps and social media, and that the advice about creating your own culture and being brave enough to create your own, I totally get that. How do you do that, and what advice do you have without getting resigned if it's taking so long? You see what I'm saying? I think that it's really important that you go, I am not going to buy into this shit.
Yep.
I am going to have very high standards for myself. I'm going to be brave and have the courage to create a different culture. Just have the conversation because my energy is worth it. And I'm also going to invest in things that make me come alive because I know the more that I'm raising my standards for my own life, the more likely I'm going to bump into somebody that I could potentially have a long-term relationship with.
So first, you go slow to go fast in your love life. You don't race to date someone because you really want to be able to tell the people at Thanksgiving that you're dating someone now. You don't rush because you want a love story in your life, even if it's one that's precarious and you don't know where you stand, because it's better than nothing. You go slow to go fast. Then when you're actually engaging with people, you start to lead with the kind of energy you would like to see from other people. There's a piece of advice I've been giving for a long time, which is both deeply true and flawed. It's don't invest in someone based on how much you like them. Invest in someone based on how much they invest in you. Now, if you follow that rule, you're going to be okay, because you're not going to get into these situations where you are over investing in someone who's not giving you the same back because you keep telling yourself it's so important and there's attraction, when really that person is not investing or committing on the level you are. So why are you bothering? At some point, someone has to do a little bit more than the other person. Otherwise, we're just in a stalemate. We're just at the school disco with these people on this side and these people on that side and no one doing anything. So at some point, someone's got to cross the room. Now, if you apply that to, let's say, online dating, or just you're texting someone, you've met someone on an online date, on a dating app, you're now texting them. What does it look like to create your own culture in that situation? Well, if you're only mirroring what they're doing, then you're mirroring all of the worst parts of dating culture as a way to protect yourself, because I'm only going to invest as much as they do. But you're now actually mirroring the culture. So instead, what we have to do is say, if I were creating my own culture, what would I do? Well, you know what there is in this texting thing? There's a real lack of humanity. It's just words on a screen, and we've been going back and forth. And there's just something missing in this. It doesn't feel like a real connection. So the next time they send me a text and say, what are you up to? I'm going to leave them a voice note. It's a tiny thing, but I'm going to leave them a voice note and just say, hey, I am at IKEA with my sister right now, and we are buying furniture for this room in our house. And I'm already dreading the fact that I have to put this thing together and it's going to be a complete disaster. I'll send you a picture. They're hearing your voice, and it's already, let's say they are dating 3 other people or talking to 3 other people. Your voice, you're attacking a different sense. They're hearing you. There's a different intimacy to a voice note, and it invites them to the table.
But what I like about what you're saying is it's actually more about you giving yourself permission to just show up as yourself and not worry about whether or not that is what drives somebody to a different level.
And having the standard on the back end, so having the bravery on the front end to create the culture and instigate it by being a leader, not a follower, but having the standard on the back end that says, if I don't feel that this pattern that I'm instigating is reciprocated, then I can back off. If I send you a message tomorrow morning and I instigate and I say, hi, lovely, I hope you have an amazing day today. I was just thinking of you. And I do that, I'm brave and I instigate that. If tomorrow you don't send me a message, then fair enough. All right, I got it. What I'm not going to do is send you another message tomorrow morning and then a week later say, I don't get it.
Question mark.
I don't get
question
it.
Mark.
Or just say, let's say they texted back that day. You instigated, right? So that was a brave thing to do, but you don't want to be in a pattern with someone where you're always instigating. So if the next day they don't instigate, or you find that you're the one constantly instigating, then you back off. What you don't do is keep instigating. They keep texting back and you say, I don't get it. They must like me because they keep texting me back, but they never, I just wish they'd asked me on a date. Well, you are setting up that dynamic by having no standards on the back end of this. So that's where you mirror. If you create the culture and then they can't reciprocate, then you go, okay, I'm going to back off. You model first, then you mirror. But what we're doing is mirroring someone from the start. If someone hasn't texted you in 2 weeks and then they say, and you've been hurt by it, and you're like, wow, this really sucks. We had such a great date 2 weeks ago. I really wanted to see them. I barely heard from them. And then 2 weeks later on a Saturday, they say, do you want to do something tonight? Do you want to go to a movie? It'd be so great to see you. The temptation is to go, I'm going to be happy, cool person here because I don't want to make it seem like I've been thinking about them for 2 weeks. So then we mirror them. We go, yeah, movie sounds great. What time?
Well, what the hell would you say without sounding like a psycho, like clingy bitch?
Well, it depends how long you say, hey, one of the things I really value is consistency and I haven't really heard from you. So I'd like to see you. It would be fun to see you. But I kind of assumed, we weren't on the same page because I haven't heard from you for 2 weeks. Like, you just say that.
You make it sound so simple. And I think the advice is incredible. I'm reflecting because I know how emotions get the best of us, which comes back to your original point. That's why it's dangerous, and that's why you have to go slow to go fast. And before you just immediately text back, take a beat, assess where you are, be a little bit more honest and vulnerable. And when you lead with that and you create your own culture in dating, now you are in a more powerful position.
That's exactly right. And if you don't get your needs met, you have to be, you're being very warm and kind and compassionate in the way you bring things up. But if you don't get what you really need, you have to be ruthless in your response with your energy. And that's where the tiger comes out. Is not in me biting your head off because you haven't texted me for 2 weeks. You're going to get my sensitivity and my vulnerability about that part because I actually was kind of sad I didn't hear from you. We had such a great time. But where you'll see the tiger is that I have absolutely no patience for someone who's not showing up for me.
Right.
So I aggressively move forward with my life. I am a train that goes, and if you step too close to the train as it's leaving the platform, you're going to get hurt. So you're either on or you're off, but this train is leaving.
Right, because I'm not waiting around for somebody to text me back.
No. Dating culture today for so many people sucks. And it is hard to find love. It's the one area where we feel like we're out of control.
How do you change it?